Hey guys, this is Laura with the Wellness Nook, and this is our yoga vocabulary series, breaking down each bandha into each in their own individual video, just to delve a little bit deeper into them. Today we're going over Uddiyana Bandha, which is upward lock or abdominal lock. It's more like it means upward lifting, and then bandha meaning lock. So this is your diaphragm mainly is what you're thinking about here. So your diaphragm, most people think of it as a dome that's separating your thorax to your abdomen, or like your lung area and your other visceral organs. It's more like two domes, where in between is where your like esophagus comes down into your stomach. So if you want to think of these two domes, when you inhale they come down, and when you exhale they come back up, and this is what creates that suction of breath. So with this bandha, you are basically creating a contraction and a lock here and holding that. So realistically, because hiccups are a spasm in your diaphragm, when you're holding your breath, this is how you want to hold your breath to stop hiccups. This is what I do when I have hiccups, just a little side note. How you do it, you want to do it on an empty stomach more ideally, because again, like I said, coming through your diaphragm is your esophagus, and right underneath that is your stomach. So this is the pathway of food. Now you can get like a hiatal hernia, so you can get where your stomach kind of pokes up through this hole, which you don't want to happen. You can get acid reflux from that. You can have just tissue damage because it's being restricted. So when you've just eaten, your stomach is obviously full and has more of a larger contents, a little bit harder to move and push down with your diaphragm. So sometimes if you're trying to practice this after you've eaten, you can start like pushing your stomach up through that hole. So you don't want to do this right after you've eaten. That's the biggest concern. If you also, there could be smaller issues if you do this right after you eat, like you could throw up, because your stomach, you just put food in it, and we're going to be playing with compressing that. So you don't really want to do that. So just heads up, don't do this right after you eat. And like, I wouldn't even say like a half hour after you eat, like swimming. I would wait like a solid hour or two. You want to make sure your stomach is pretty much empty. Everything's now into your like duodenum. So anyway, how you would do this, a lot of people like to do it more like in chair pose, Uddiyana, where you would just have your hands on your knees and you're kind of crouching, but your knees are bent. You can also do this lying down. It might actually be nice to do it lying down when you first start, because we're going to be working with breath and holding your breath. So if you're prone to getting lightheaded and stuff like that, if you're lying down, you don't have to worry about dizziness and falling or anything like that. You can also do it sitting. The easiest way to do it is definitely in that crouched position. Lying down is also pretty easy. Sitting's a little bit harder, but it's still completely possible. So you want to think about taking a nice deep breath in, completely exhaling. Now at the end of that exhale, you're going to seal your airways. So you're sealing off your nose, you're sealing off your mouth, and you're making the action of inhaling. So it's a deep breath in, completely out, seal it off, inhale. And you'll feel things pull up. That's what it feels like, because essentially you're trying to pull breath in, but you're not allowing air in. So you're creating this suction, this seal, this lock, and it really kind of helps stitch and hold everything in. And you can kind of play with that contraction. There are some people who have amazing control over their diaphragm and those muscles, and can do these really interesting waves with their abdomen from it. I do not have that control. It is a goal one day, but it's not today. You can see some really interesting videos, and you can, even if you can't do those interesting, intricate waves and movements of left to right and up and down, you can still think of it, still have the intention, put your awareness to that movement, and slowly that's how you start building those neural connections to get that more fine attachment to those points and like more fine movements. So again, you inhale, exhale completely, seal everything off, and try to do the action of inhaling. Feel that pull up. It's like that sucking in feeling. You really feel it in your lower ribs, this contraction there. And again, really fantastic when you have hiccups. That's what's going to stop it. But if you try to do that trick of holding your breath and drinking, having that contraction in your diaphragm, that's what's going to help release the spasm in that muscle. So just a fun thing there. What's also interesting is how this bandha interacts with your mula bandha, because how you inhale. So your mula bandha, you're thinking about the inverted dome of your pelvic floor muscles, and with Uddiyana Bandha, you're thinking of your diaphragm, the upright double dome. So as the dome of your diaphragm comes down with your inhalation, your pelvic floor dome actually comes up, which might seem counterintuitive and seem not to make sense. You would think they would both go down, both go up. But if you think a little bit deeper, your pelvic floor is supporting your pelvis. And you have organs that rest on your pelvis, and below that, you have exits from your body. So when you inhale, you're pressing things down. So that's why you're going to contract your pelvic floor, and that's going to come up to support that, to keep things from coming out of your exits with every breath, because otherwise you can get like prolapse issues, you can get like things like hemorrhoids and stuff like that. If every breath you took, you were pressing into your rectum or something, or you would have incontinence issues where you're leaking urine because you're just constantly pressing down. So that's why your pelvic floor really supports that. So when you're thinking with your bandhas and your locks, when you're doing this, you want to think about engaging both of them, because they go so well together just in our natural breathing patterns. So then further when we're doing different work to strengthen them. So you want to think about definitely engaging your mula bandha, pulling that up, supporting yourself there, supporting your pelvis when you engage Uddiyana Bandha, and really pulling into the diaphragms, basically together, really kind of compressing and massaging and getting everything moving in your abdomen, which is really nice and fun for all those organs. And that's pretty much all I wanted to discuss. If you have any questions, just comment below. And sorry, it has been a while since I've posted any videos. I've been working on some other stuff for myself, and I get distracted easily because I'm human. And sometimes I think I'm making these videos just for myself to really delve in, which is fine if you're actually watching this and it's not just me talking to myself. Cool. I'm going to do the next bandha, and then after that, I think I'm just going to do like a rapid fire video where it's one video with a ton of yoga vocabulary that's good to know, so and not delve so deep into them. I might do a little bit more delving deep in things like mudras, stuff that needs a little bit more time, like the bandhas I felt like needed more time for each one. Alright, anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, you can give me a thumbs up, you can comment, you can subscribe, you can ring the bell, you can ignore me and never watch another video again, whatever makes you happy. Alright, stay healthy, stay safe, and I will maybe see you next time.